off my desk.
So what we're talking about, Grant,
Okay.
our listeners are small business owners, entrepreneurs, and we want to bring Grant Cardone to the UK and, bring that value. And like I said, when I sent the email through, 10X has been the inspiration for both me and Rob, and that's why we wanted to get you on here. You are the man at the moment for sales, and that's why we've got you.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Beautiful. I appreciate you having me.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So with the interview, how long have we got, just so we're clear?
Yeah, why do you say I'm the man at the moment, though? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. It sounds like it's a temporary position.
I don't mean it for the moment. It's just like you've come through in such a big way recently. I mean, normally, if you think about it, when it comes to sales, it's kind of Ziglar, Brian Tracy. But at the moment, you're coming through like a runaway train and smashing through everything is the best way for me to put it.
Yeah. Thank you. It's because, are we doing the interview right now? Are we live?
Recording.
We ready to go? Y'all ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. If you're ready to talk.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah. Grant, we just want to know how long have we got with you?
Let's say about 20 minutes. What do you think? 25 minutes?
That's perfect.
Okay.
So, let's do the intro then. Rob, do you want to kick off and then we can get stuck in? Yep.
Okay then. All right. So we count down 3, 2, 1, and then we're rock and roll. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome, Elevation Nation, to another edition of the SB Elevation podcast with your host, Robert Dean Smith I, and my co-host from the land of the Golden Black State, Mr. Leone.
Streete in the house. How you doing, Rob?
I'm very, very well, Leon, and I'm really, really super stoked and excited about the guest we've got on our show today, which is going to rock it. So I'm going to let you do the introduction straight away, and let's jump in.
Yeah, so first of all, guys, we have on the call, this is real special. I'm going to say hi to him first. Grant Cardone is on the line. How you doing, Grant?
Good, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to give a bit of backstory, just a quick intro of who Grant Cardone is, if you haven't heard of him. I know you have. This guy is super huge. So Grant Cardone is a New York Times best-selling author, recognized international sales training expert, and a motivational speaker on finance, sales, and business expansion. He's the founder and CEO of 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. 4. There you go, guys. Catch him on the Today Show, Fox, Friends, CNBC, and Access Hollywood. And so why do we want Grant? One word, passion. Grant brings passion, success, no BS, hustle, team, family. Even after all that, this guy is understanding and where people are. And in life, they work towards making success their duty. He's been broke, he's been down and out, but he's learned through his life how to deal with it and make success a mindset and a daily choice. Grant, we're honored to have you and you to spread your teachings to our audience. And both of us, like I said, we both have the 10X books. Awesome. What an intro. We're just so excited to have you here today, Grant.
Dude, that intro was freaking sick, bro. When are we going to start telling people what to do, though? Your countrymen need a fix.
Yes, they do. You are that fix. So what we like to ask, Grant, and with every guest that we have on is there a key mantra or principle that you use in order to stay on track and hit the successes that you have? Because, I mean, you are huge.
Yeah, so look, I mean, for me, first of all, I want to thank you guys for what you do. It's really, really awesome that you give so much to your audience.
Yeah.
So much value, and I appreciate you taking time and thinking enough of me to have me on your show. For me, a mantra, a key principle that keeps me on track, something I live by, is that this is you get a lifetime to decide how you're going to be known and remembered.
Yeah.
And for me, my dad died when he was 52 years old. I was only 10. And he just really didn't get a chance. I mean, he did. People knew him as a good guy. He was very social, likable, honest. He really believed that your name was the most important thing. Nobody could take that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you leave 5 kids and a wife, I don't think that's how my dad wanted to go out. I think my dad wanted to be like, dude, I did something really giant. People remembered me for something. My dad's only been dead 40 years. Nobody's talking about my dad today. No, I'm the only one talking about him, right? But I would like to leave a legacy where I make a contribution bigger than just 5 kids and a family. Even though that's an unbelievable thing. I think that people underestimate how much they can make things better in their environment, their marketplace. If you don't like the job you have, rather than quitting that job, why don't you figure out how to make that job great?
Yeah.
For millions of other people that also hate that job. See, that's kind of my story. I got in sales out of college, and I hated sales, and I was going to quit. And rather than being a quitter, I'm like, hey, why don't I make this? Why don't I at least leave a winner, not a quitter? and why don't I figure out how to solve a problem that I'm experiencing that probably other people are experiencing? Because I looked around, other people didn't like what they were doing either. So that's what I did. I guess success is my duty. That's a mantra that I have. I think success is a duty. It's not a financial thing. You know, I'm not trying to get richer. I'm trying to get, if the search is for money, I want it because I want to help, not because I want another big car.
You know, it's quite interesting, Grant. I jumped onto one of your Meerkats and Periscopes probably about a month ago, and you were coaching some guy from Germany, and he was asking you about what he could do, and you were like, get a bucket, get a sponge, and go to the end of the street and clean some windows. And you know what? I love that principle, because everything about what you talk about is about taking action and then doing something better with your life, because it's possible. And, you know, it definitely comes through loud and clear over here in the UK. And obviously me and Rob are big fans of yours. And what I like to do is just hand over to Rob, because I know he's got a great question coming up.
Can I just add to that story, though? This kid, I did a coaching call for this kid. And he, I think he's 2 years in college. You're the only person that's ever brought up that I did that interview, by the way. That's awesome that you were listening to that. And he's like, man, I don't know, should I quit college or should I become an entrepreneur? I'm like, why do one or the other? Why don't you stay in college and become an entrepreneur? He's like, what do you mean? I said, do you really want to be an entrepreneur? Oh yeah, I really want to be an entrepreneur. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm like, good. Go to the street corner, grab a bucket, put some water in it, get a sponge, go to the street corner, splash it on somebody's windshield. I know you guys in the UK are going to think this is an American thing. Splash it on the windshield, start wiping it off, and ask the guy for $20. And he's like, why would I do that? I said, you said you wanted to be an entrepreneur, bro. An entrepreneur creates a problem, solves a problem, and gets money for it, and puts himself at risk in the meantime. So if you're not willing to do that, you know, just go back to college, wait out your deal for 5 or 6 years, and then 4 years from now, find out you got to go get a job.
Yeah, that's right. Rob,
hit it, Rob.
What's happening, Grant?
Come on, man. You're happening, brother.
Thank you. All right, Grant, you know, I think what's going to be useful, because I know that you've got a big goal to make sure that 7 billion people on the planet know who your name is, and obviously leaving a legacy, which is why we actually started our podcast, because it was all about leaving a legacy when we pop our clubs, that we're going to have great guests like yourself on here to give real value. So obviously, Grant, there's going to be some lessons that I think our audience can take away from your journey. You started 4, very, very successful businesses from obviously the, get my bearings here. Obviously, the four successful businesses that you started. Can you just give us a bit of that journey about how you started? Because obviously you said you started off working for a sales training company, which was back in Chicago. Yeah, so let me just back up, okay? The first business I started, by the way, was not, it was not named after me, okay? The first business, you don't need to start a business to own a business, okay? You are a business. I mean, if you want to transition into being a business owner, start acting and operating like a business owner right now. So Robert's here. Robert shoots video with my company. You know, Robert could go start videogenius.com, but if Robert leaves here as an employee, okay, and goes and starts videogenius.com and wasted 2 or 3 years of owning a business within the business, shame on him, because what you want to do is, the individual is a business. There's 6.8 billion people on planet Earth. Those represent 6.8 billion brands. I don't care if you're 6 months old, 6 years old, or 60 years old. There's a brand, there's a product, there's a unique proposition. Everything that makes up a business, a multi-million-dollar business, is in the individual already. You know, I'm a person. I have a unique value proposition. Well, I had that working in my first job after college.
And what I did was I basically said, before I leave here, I don't like quitting. You know, I don't like quitting places where I'm not on top of the game.
Yeah.
And so, because I know I'm just walking away from something. So what I did there was I said, before I leave this sales job, which I hated, by the way, woke up in the morning and was like, I cannot believe I would rather eat spotted dick, okay, than go on this job, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to figure out how to be successful at this job that I hate. And basically what I did was I learned how to be a business inside a business. In fact, when I finally left that company, I was the entire business, the company that I worked at, it went out of business within 7 months. Because my production was so integral. It went from being nothing to so integral, the entire company depended upon my production.
Yeah.
And that was my first business that I owned. So that when I left there, when I quit, actually when I was fired, I walked out of the place, but I walked out on top. When I started my next company, it wasn't like I was starting my first company, dude. I was already a department, a division, a powerhouse. I had all this I had this ownership and kind of boss quality about me already from working for another guy for 5 years.
That's interesting. I think there's a book, The Lean Startup, and he talks about, rather than entrepreneur, intrapreneur, where somebody you develop from inside, and it kind of sounds like that's where your journey kind of grew, which is really interesting. Now, Grant, what I want to do is kind of take you into another question. It's really because to us, we know your journey. We've obviously looked into you. We have your books, and you know the content's huge, but I've got to ask you, at this point in your career and where you're headed, what's your biggest success to date, and where did that come from?
My biggest success to date, there's hundreds and thousands of successes. You know, little tiny ones and then big giant ones. To me, none of them. The only way to rate a success is by either fame or money. Okay, it's like, oh my God, I got discovered right there, or oh my God, that was a bunch of money. They're no more valuable. I made $50 million on one deal. Okay, wow. I knew the day I did the deal. I said I made $20 million today. I told my wife, I know I made 20. You couldn't see it yet, right? Yeah. I told my wife last night. I said, dude, we didn't make 20. I made 50 million on that deal.
Wow.
And I still haven't actually made the money, but I know for sure that was a successful thing, right? Well, that success is no bigger, really, than me talking to you guys today. See, me talking to you guys today is in many ways more valuable than me making $50 million on one deal, because my goal, my mission is to meet people I don't know. I want to get connected with entrepreneurs, winners, okay? Guys that are freaking great, that are awesome, you know, that are positive. So the fact that you guys reached out to me and said, hey, tell us about your journey. Tell us about your story. Don't give us the short version. Give us the whole deal. You know, that's a real, that's a monster success. When I go into a store today and somebody's like, man, I know you, man. I know you. I said, really? Where do you know me from? Dude, I know you. Grant Cardone, your wife, Selena, Sabrina, Scarlett. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, flying through, stopped at a Whole Foods to get some food. Literally just pulled over, grabbed some food, and the lady in line knew me. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I'm actually manufacturing. I'm manufacturing. See, to me, that success is bigger than money, right? Or a book deal. I just got another book deal. Okay, big deal, man. I mean, it's a book deal, but is somebody paying me more important than me self-publishing my first book and pushing it out into the marketplace? You know, so I don't know that I have one biggest success. I think all of them are very valuable.
And I think you've got great points that you've raised there, Grant. And part of it is, it's like you say, fame and money are some of the big things. I mean, the fact that you have your own 10X jet aeroplane. I mean,
you know what? And when you asked me, dude, I didn't even think about the jet. the jet wasn't even like, that's not even a big, like, that wasn't the first thing, you know.
And what's awesome is, you know, we've interviewed other guests as well, and the real profound thing is, a lot of them says when I connect with people like you, or when I connect with Bob down the road, the guy who sells mattresses or whatever it is they do in their business, and I'm able to give them a helping hand and help them raise their game, that's what we're finding. And apparently, and what you're saying to us is no different. And you know, it's really humbling to hear that, because once you start to focus on the success, you start to really engage in the spirituality of actually being the success. And that's what I really like.
Yeah, and the wealth in helping another person. I remember being, I was 12 or 13 years old. My dad had died, and I'm resentful, man. I mean, I'm pissed about it. I'm angry. Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm confused about it. I don't really know what to do about the whole deal. All my friends, that they're going hunting with their dads, and they're going off to play tennis, and you know, I mean, everything to me was fantastic. Everything they were doing was fantastic. You know, it's like they're going out boating and picnics and hunting. I don't know. Maybe they hated their dads. I don't even know. But I'm romanticizing, because I don't have this thing, right? It's like being a single person, and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to be in love again. And the two people that are in love hate each other's guts, and they're punching each other in the head, right? But when you're single, or when you don't have a dad and you're looking for some guidance, man, you start thinking, wow, what could it be like? And I just thought, I said, man, if I'm ever in a position, see, to me, I don't really think somebody that's never done anything can actually help anyone. You know? Right. I mean, I guess you could, you know, a broke man on the side, somebody that's broke spiritually, physically, financially, they could help me. They could help me dig a hole, but they can't help me very long.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to find out they're negative, and that they're sick, and that they're mentally sick and physically sick, and oh, by the way, that they don't have any money. But a man that's got money and is healthy and is spiritually wealthy and has finances too, well, that guy can help you a bunch, okay? He can give you guidance. He can give you good guidance, not just garbage guidance, right? He could actually give you some experiences he's had, successes and failures, things to avoid. He could maybe even give you some confidence by saying, you know what, I want to invest some money in your company.
Yes, that's right.
You know, so those things are like, oh my God, man, a wealthy man or woman can actually do so much good to help people and support them and kind of, you know, push them along.
Yeah, one thing I'm just going to touch on that, and it's coming from 10X actually, is the fact that your energy is limitless, and you say that in the book. And you know, I love the audio book, because we're getting the real Grant Cardone, and some of the inserts you put in there really sell it. And but the point about energy is the fact that, you know, people don't really tap into that in terms of that the energy, the creativity that you bring is limitless, and there is no cap on it other than what you're willing to give. And so I'm just adding that to what you're talking about, and it's so true.
Yeah. Like energy, people always ask me. Last night I was doing a stream on Facebook, and there was, I don't know, 70,000 people on this stream, which is unbelievable technology, right? You gotta wonder what it's going to do to podcast, radio, TV.
That's right.
I mean, it's big. So a guy said, dude, how can you work all day and at 7:15 at night still have so much energy? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even think about that. You know, I don't even think about, do I have a lot of energy? It's not, to me, it's not a lot of energy. It's like, I didn't even think I was having a lot of energy last night. I thought I was kind of down, depressed, confused. You know, so look, don't. I think the point is show up. You know, for me, I just show up, and then once I physically get there, and then I say, okay, what am I supposed to do today? What do I have to do today? And then I show up again. And most of the time I have no clue what I'm doing, just so everybody knows. I just keep showing up over and over and over again until I build this show up muscle that starts to look to other people like courage. It starts to look to other people like confidence. It starts looking to other people like, dude, that guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, I've done, you know, I don't know, thousands of interviews now. So
yeah. Well, we're on it. Rob, over to you.
Well, Grant, thanks for that. Thanks for sharing that. I want to ask you, which I think I know the answer, but I'm not going to prejudge. What do you think the current big thing our community or any kind of entrepreneur needs to be aware of right now?
Well, what you need to be aware of is speed. Fast is the new big.
And what do you mean by that?
Can you you gotta move fast now. You can't You know, it used to be you could be, you know, Henry Ford, and Henry Ford owned the car market for years. Okay,
Yeah.
well, Tesla's going to build a car today, and the next thing you know, Apple's going to be building them. Okay, I mean, speed is everything now. To think that a podcast was a big deal 5, 6, 7 years ago, they might not even exist. Okay, the app on my telephone, that everybody uses apps today, it completely morphed all these other products in the marketplace.
That's right.
You know, to think that, you know, I used to play backgammon on a board. I had to buy a $300 board game, carry it around with me. Dude, I can get that same board for nothing today, and it sits on my phone, and ice hockey on my phone, and football on my phone, and TV on my phone, and a podcast on my. I mean, you got to go fast today. I mean, I'm talking about 0 to 60. You need to be thinking about, how do I go 300 miles an hour? What that means is this. Number one, every entrepreneur needs to know this. There has to be one decision maker in the company. One decision maker. What's worse than one bad queen? 2 great ones.
Yeah.
Because they'll kill each other, right? You got to have a decision maker. Number one, you got to move fast today. That means there needs to be a decision maker in place that can pull a trigger. Number 2, you got to have courage. You don't need to have money. Second thing you got to have is courage. Okay, speed, courage, and the third thing you must have is you must have a monster think about finances.
Okay.
The little think on finances is not going to work today. So the little business owner, the guy that wants to go on his own is going to get crushed.
Great.
Right.
So the person that thinks, okay, I'm making 80,000 pounds a year now. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go do a consulting gig, and I'm going to make the same 80,000, but I'm going to work for myself. Okay, it's suicide. That is a suicide move. And that person's going to find out that they would have been better off staying with the company and the benefits and the support and the promotion and the expansion and the possibilities of a company, because a company has resources. It can continue to reinvest in a future, and the individual won't do that because they're going to be scared about that 80,000.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's why most small businesses don't work. Like here in America, there's 28 million, and I know small. You know, entrepreneurship is, when I travel around the world, you know, people act like the Americans have entrepreneurship down. I know, do y'all think that over there?
I think
That's the perception.
It's a perception.
Yeah. It is a perception, but let me just tell you, you guys in England, just so you know, it's complete garbage. There's 28 million. It's not a truth. It's myth. It's a myth that people in America know how to run a business. It's also a myth that Americans are hustlers. Americans are not hustlers. Most of them are lazy. Most of them are complacent. The middle class in our country that you don't have, y'all don't talk about a middle so much as we do, has really destroyed this country.
Right.
And the reason I say that is it's made people very complacent. It's made them satisfied.
What's quite interesting, Grant, I know you mentioned in your 10X that you're probably going to do a book on middle class at some point.
Yeah. I'm doing a webcast tomorrow called Make Millions in Business. And I'm making a case for why everyone, by the way, you are a business, you don't start a business, and why everyone must make millions of dollars.
Okay.
Now, I know this is very annoying to people when they hear it. Because people have basically been made to believe that they can't do this.
Yeah, that's right.
But look, I know a bunch of millionaires and I know some billionaires. They're no smarter. In fact, your smarts probably eliminate your intelligence. Probably eliminates your chances of actually making big money. It's the C student. It's the middle of the grades that are actually achieving more financially than the smartest person in the room.
Right. Okay. Grant, I've got a question then. So, you know, you're talking about people who you know, and my question is this: who inspires Grant Cardone?
You do, man.
What about?
You do.
Thank you.
Dude, what inspires me is all the people that are being misled right now. This is what I was saying in this last. People are being misled. Okay.
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get an education, I'm going to get a house, and everything's going to be fine. You're wrong, dude. I can prove to you that billions of people are not fine based on that premise. You know, in America, if you make 52 grand a year in America, you're in the top 10% of all the earners on planet Earth. And Americans, we are the top 10. We are the top. The UK's in there. There's 10 countries that earn more money than any other countries. I think it's Switzerland, the UK, Belgium, Germany, America, Australia, mostly English-speaking countries, by the way, and not China. China didn't make that. Japan. Yeah. America's the top earner and the last saver. We save less money than any other country, okay? Which means even though they're earning the most amount of money, comparatively, it's still not enough money to put any money away, okay? So look, if I have to move out of the United States of America, if I got to move my family to another country to take care of their finances, I will. Yeah. So what people need to think about today is there's so many problems to solve, so many different problems to solve on this planet that would pay you a lot of money. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payoff. Okay. And number two, you just got to be willing to take the risk to think bigger than you're thinking, because the thinking that people have right now can barely pay the bills. I know the cost of living in London. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. Grant, you know, like you've touched on some awesome things here, and I know we're getting close towards the end of the interview, and I've got to ask this question. There's a lot of things that you're pushing right now, but what should our audience, Elevation Nation, look out for from you? What should they be looking at when it comes to Grant Cardone right now?
Well, what I would do, first of all, if you're studying somebody else right now, I would keep studying that guy. I mean, if you found something that you love that's really making a difference, I would not hop. I would not jump from author to author to author, right? I would find somebody and study all their material. If you're going to read one guy's book and you dig it and you're like, dude, that helped me, read all of his books. Okay. Because no expert or author or guy like me completes everything in a book. Books have deadlines, unfortunately. You got to finish them. Yeah. You got to put a front and a cover on it, and it's over with, and you got to take it to market. If you're going to study me, okay, if you're going to study my material, by the way, over the last 25 years, this material has evolved a lot. Yeah. You're going to see me because I start maturing as a business owner. I start thinking, oh my God, I wouldn't do that again. Okay. The way I started my first business, I would not run my fourth business. Yeah. And you know, I start avoiding things. So when you start reading a guy's material, you start seeing, oh, that was great. That was great. Oh, but you can start seeing him actually mature. So, you know, that's what I would tell people, man. Find somebody, commit to that person. Let that person be a mentor for you. Okay. So I've got a quick question. What's this promotion that you got running at the moment? Make Millions in Business. What should our audience know about that? They said, hey, dude, you should write a book on how to make $1 million. And I'm like, okay. So I called the publishing company. I said, how long would it take you to turn this book around? And they said 9 months. So I got with my staff and I said, look, I'm going to write this book in a week. And we're going to deliver it digitally. Speed, courage, monster think on finances. there you go, dude. And it's gonna be based on this. Make a decision, okay, to quit thinking, oh, I'm just gonna earn 50 grand, 50,000 pounds or 80,000 pounds or 200,000 pounds. Do you live in London? 200,000 pounds, you're still broke all the time. Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna do a live webcast tomorrow, but your audience could actually get the ebook. Okay, we'll make sure we put that resource out on the show notes. Over to you, Rob. Yeah. One quick question before we roll down and scroll down, because we now come to the end and we know that your time is valuable, Grant. But I've got a question. I like to call it a curveball question. If there were 3 people that you could have round for dinner, living or deceased, who would those 3 people be and why? 3 people for dinner, man. Who would they be? Well, I'd have to hang out with my dad, dude. I mean, I'd have to hang out with my dad and say, look at this. Look what I did, big boy. So I would definitely hang out with him. You know, man, I mean, there's all these great guys that have lived on this planet. I mean, I had to probably Only 3, huh?
Only 3.
I'd probably want to hang out with Buddha, man.
Okay.
Mahatma Gandhi. No, Buddha, right? Buddha boy. No, Buddha, man. Buddha, the Buddha
okay.
guy, man. Buddha was a guy, right? I'd want to hang out with Buddha, man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, did you get any Buddha? Or booty? And who else would I want to hang out with, man? I don't know. Maybe John Kennedy. I don't know. Now, I think John was probably overpitched, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Cool.
You know what, man? I think I want to stick it out with the people that are living, though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who would there be then, Grant? 3 people living?
3 people living? Right now,
like,
living?
Well, I know that last week or the week before you done that thing where you told off your man when you were over in Las Vegas because you didn't take the picture with Floyd Mayweather. So I don't know if Mayweather would be at the dinner table, but anybody that you think?
No, Floyd Mayweather would be broke before I am. Dude, I'd love to hang out with you 2 guys, and I'd love to hang out with one of the more positive people in your audience, and I'd be freaking tickled to death.
Awesome. You know what, Grant, I want to say thanks for taking the time out for this interview with our Elevation Nation. They, along with us, really appreciate it. And if somebody wishes to get in touch with you and look at you, study you, and find out about you, what's the best way, please?
Best way is just Google my name, Grant Cardone. You'll find me everywhere.
Perfect. Over to you, Rob.
Yeah, well, once again, we want to thank you for listening, Elevation Nation. I mean, this is going to be an extra special episode. And I know that Grant, by the time it goes live, obviously the webinar will have been done, but I'm sure that Grant will have a replay or you can buy or download it. And I recommend that you go and invest in that if you haven't found that mentor to help you.
Yeah, you know? one thing you could do, because I have a tremendous amount, I do a lot of live video webcasts. And one thing people could do is go to grantcardonetv.com. I have a lot of information there, live shows, and also recorded content. It's free content, and then we also have some content people can buy. Look, my goal is to meet 7 billion people on this planet. So, and the last thing I want to say is this: I want to meet every one of you guys. If you got hustle, if you're so freaking, if you're so inspired that you want to take care of your family that you don't have time for hate and criticism and ridicule, I'm on your side.
Great.
If you got time for other stuff like the hate and the ridicule and the criticism and judgment, I don't have any time for you. Number 1. Number 2, if there's any way I can help any of your audience at any time, okay, and you don't have a problem with me being American and you being English,
none whatsoever.
and that's not your see, because the one thing I hear from the guys over there a lot is they're like, that's an American thing. Hey man, you know what? Let me tell you something. We live on planet Earth.
Correct. That's
okay. Right. Let me just close with this. This is planet Earth you live on. If you go back and study for the last 2,000 years, this is an economic planet. This is not a political planet. You can talk about the Queen and the President and politics all you want. This is an economic planet. Whether you're in America or you're in London, whether you're in New York City or London, every time you turn left, right, go backwards or forward, somebody's going to want some money from you. Every major decision your family and your business will make, there will be finances attached. And the way for me to get finances is this: I got to make a decision. I got to go confront another human being. Human beings, not machines, have money.
Yes.
And I got to go confront. I got to be social even if I'm not social, and I got to say hello. Okay? I got to offer a solution to a problem somebody has, and money will be exchanged. That's how you create an economy. So if I can help anyone listening do that, I want to be able to help you.
Thank you very much, Grant. It's been awesome. And once again, Elevation Nation.
Elevation Nation, man. You guys be great.
That's it. And what I want to say and leave you with is speed, courage, and monster think on your finances. Rob, it's been a pleasure. Grant, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys, all right?
Thank you.